I used to always struggle with my forehand third shot drive. The only way that I could hit my drive and not miss long and not have to worry about it was by slowing my swing down. Then when I played higher level players, when I tried to slow my swing down, they would automatically just smash the ball back. I felt like I hit a ceiling. There was nothing that I could do. That is why I am creating this video for you. After you're done watching this video, you're not going to just have to slow your forehand down to keep the ball in. We're going to be going over the main reasons why players end up missing their forehand drives long. We're going to be going over every single problem and every single solution. Once you're done this video, you're not going to hit that ceiling. You're going to know all the tips and all the tricks to go for your forehand drives and never have to worry about missing them long again. Make sure to buckle your seatbelts and stay tuned because you're going to absolutely love this video. Let's go. So the first reason why players end up missing the ball long is because they're not in the proper ready position. They basically set themselves up for failure. They can't even hit a good shot because they're not in the proper starting position. A lot of players, when they're waiting for their forehand or prior to them even turning for their forehand, they're like this. If my paddle is like this, I want you to notice the tip of my paddle. Then when I turn, I'm going to be like this. My paddle's going to be downward. I'm going to have no momentum. So when I swing, I'm automatically going to lift the ball up and hit the ball out. If you struggle with missing long, look at your ready position. Is your paddle down, like we just explained, or is your paddle facing up? You want to make sure on your ready position, your paddle tip is pointing upward, kind of diagonal, not straight up, but pointing upward. Now, if I'm in this proper ready position, now when I turn, look where my paddle is going to be. Now I'm going to be able to take the paddle back and drop it. I'm going to be able to have momentum. I'm going to be able to get under the ball. And most importantly, I'm going to be able to create topspin. Once again, this ball right here, when I start here with my paddle down, this ball is going to go long because all I'm doing is arming my shot. Now here's my ready position with the paddle tip pointing up. Now when I swing, this ball is going to go in the court because I have momentum. So once again, this versus this is in the court with consistency, power, and topspin. This right here is long and arming the ball every single time, which leads to my next point. You have to make sure that, look, when I go like this, what do I do with my body? I turn my body. A lot of players end up missing long and spraying long because they open their body up prematurely. What happens is they go to swing, and what happens is they either A, pull their body away prematurely to see where the ball is going, or B, they're kind of staying turned, but then their non-dominant hand is pulling this way. If my right and my left side are not working together, I'm not going to be able to keep my shot in. Once again, when you play pickleball and you hit a forehand drive, if you want to keep it in the court, you have to make sure that the right side and the left side of your body work together. The moment that they don't work together is the moment that you are going to pop your body up and the moment that the ball is going to go long. So how can we do this? Number one, you can pretend that your wrists are tied or handcuffs. Wherever my right wrist goes, my left wrist follows. Notice, by bringing my right and my left wrist together, look what happens with my body. It automatically turns. Another thing that you can do, and a great exercise or drill to do, is instead of hitting a couple forehands with your paddle like this, you're going to hit a couple forehands with your paddle like that. Make sure the paddle face is towards your dominant hand. It's not like this. It's going to be weird. So you're going to hit forehands like this. And all you're going to do is you're going to drop the ball and you're going to hit. Again, I'm going to drop the ball and I'm going to hit. Now, that's going to feel really weird. That's going to feel awkward. But what is it going to do? It's going to make sure that my right and my left arm are moving together. Because if I go like this, and I'm not going to drop this limited edition, it's number 972 out of 1,000 carbon pickleball paddle. But what? If I release my hand, my paddle is going to drop and I'm not going to be able to hold it. That is the best drill to do. The next thing that we have to do is stay turned, right? We can't open up, but we have to exaggerate your turn. If you can exaggerate your turn of your body, you're going to keep the ball in. What I want you to think is pretend that either A, you have a microphone like I do right now, or you have a logo on your shirt. you want to hide the logo throughout your shot. Now notice the reason why we told you about moving your wrists and right and left arm together is because this is going to happen as a result. By doing that, you're going to be able to accomplish it, but now I want you to actually exaggerate it. So when I turn, look, you can't see my microphone right now. Now when I hit, I make contact, look, you still can't see my microphone. I'm hiding my microphone and then I'm following through. What I'm not doing again is I'm not going like this and opening up. My ball's going to go long every single time. I'm going to turn, hide my microphone, and then swing forward. Also, you can think, if you don't like the microphone or the logo, you can think showing the front of your back shoulder. When I turn, I'm showing the front of my back shoulder, and then I'm going to swing, and then I'm going to hit. If you can keep your body turned, not open up prematurely, make sure your right and your left wrist are going together, that is going to help you a ton, and that's going to help you keep the ball in paired with your ready position. Now, the back swing. The backswing is what's going to allow you to get under the ball. And if you can get under the ball in pickleball, that's going to help you create topspin. And if you can create topspin, that's going to help you keep the ball in. A shot with zero topspin might spray long. It's going to have low margin for error. However, if you can add some spin, that ball is going to have a higher likelihood of being in, and you're going to win. You may not know it, I am a poet. So make sure you have a backswing. And how do we create topspin? We really loop our backswing and we really have momentum with our paddle. This kind of goes to the ready position. That's why we started with that. Is if you start with your paddle down, you're going to have to swing forward. If you start with your paddle down, you're going to have to swing forward. And that's why a lot of players, they're stuck at a 2-5, 3-0, even 3-5 level, because when players pick up the game of pickleball, their coaches are going to instruct them what? Paddle back, swing forward. Paddle back, swing forward. It's the most user-friendly way to teach a forehand. However, what happens is if you keep on going paddle back, swing forward, paddle back, swing forward, paddle back, swing forward, what's going to eventually happen? It's going to not be user-friendly. You're going to end up missing the forehands long when you want to hit power. Again, beginner forehand right here, forehand 101. When you're learning the game, paddle back, swing forward, paddle back, swing forward. That's good and all. That's going to help you make content. That's going to make you make contact. That's going to help you be happy. You're going to come back for your lessons. But where are you going to go wrong? When you try to hit hard and someone's up at the kitchen, they can block the ball back, and you go paddle back, swing forward, where does it go every single time? It's going to go long. So what you need to do is you need to have the paddle up and then drop and swing forward. The normal forehand, that the only way you can keep the ball in is paddle back, swing forward with your paddle down. If you want to get a forehand that's in every single time, if you want to create topspin and effortless power, you need to take your paddle back, then drop it, then swing forward. Now I have momentum and I'm getting under and lifting the ball, which is going to brush the back of the ball and create topspin. Before, what did I do? I just went here and I'm just getting under and lifting the ball up. And again, it's going to go long. So I need to make sure I'm in the proper ready position and I take my paddle back up. Then I'm going to drop the paddle downward and then I'm going to swing. And now I'm able to create topspin and brush the ball, and the ball's going to go in the court. Now, the only way that you can do this is by holding the paddle loose, letting the paddle work for you and not working for the paddle. If you hold the paddle tight, it's not going to be right. When I make this C with my paddle, I am extremely loose in my grip. It's like kind of throwing a whip or throwing a frisbee, super loose and fluid in my wrist. I'm taking the paddle back and then I'm dropping it down. Taking the paddle back and then I'm dropping it down. If you're a visual learner, you can think that you're making a C. Here's the top of the C, then I drop it, that's the curve of the C, and then I follow through. Where players go wrong is that they'll go here and then they'll go down. They'll go here and then go down. It's kind of like a right angle, right? We want to take the paddle back, and then all we have to do to get from point A to point B is by just what? Releasing our paddle, by being loose. If I'm not loose, that's not going to happen. Now, the next reason why players miss the ball long, and this is going to help you create topspin, also it's going to help you keep the ball in when you have this bigger swing, because listen, we have a bigger swing now. that means we have more momentum. That means we have more power. And the more power you have a small court in pickleball, the more you have to control it. If I'm playing with a ton of power, which is going to allow me to hit good forehands, I have to control it. Before, I could only control the ball by slowing down my shot. So what do I mean by this? I mean by keeping my paddle face closed at all times. You need to make sure that your paddle face is always closed at all times. A lot of players, they're obsessed with grips. And the thing is with grip, I have a lot of users say, Tyler, what grip should I use? Should I use a continental, Eastern, semi-Western, Western? My answer is I am not sure. I do not know. It depends on your level. It depends on your movement. It depends who you're playing. It depends on your wrist flexibility. But what I do tell them is just make sure that your paddle face is tilted downward. Now, the more I tilt the paddle downward, the more spin I'm going to get, but I always want my paddle face closed. Notice if there's an arrow coming out of the center of my paddle, it's pointing downward every single time. Where players go wrong, and the reason why they can't hit a good forehand, especially when they have this new momentum thing that we worked on, which is going to help them keep the ball in, is players have their paddle open. If their paddle is open, where's the ball going to go? The ball is going to go up. I want to pretend that there's a laser coming out the center of my paddle. If my laser is pointing this way, where, oh my gosh, I think I almost lost that ball. Where is the ball going to go? So players might have a good swing, but if their paddle is not in the proper position, again, I'm not telling you to have a grip, I'm telling you just keep your paddle in the proper position. If my paddle face is open, where's the ball going to go? It's going to go up every single time. Now I'm going to do the exact same swing, but now I'm going to close it. And now what's going to happen? Now the ball is going to go in. My paddle face is open, the ball is going to go up. If my paddle face is closed, the ball is going to stay in. A lot of players, all they have to do is just adjust their paddle face, and then they're going to be good to go. Now, the big thing with adjusting your paddle face, and I want you to really understand this, I want you to think of adjusting your paddle face like putting on your seatbelt before you hit the road. When you put on your seatbelt and then you drive. Whatever happens, happens on the road. You could get in a car accident, you could be perfectly fine, you could just go to your random errands, wherever, right? But your seatbelt's on regardless of what's going to happen. You're not driving and then you put your seatbelt on. You're not going to get in a crash, you're going to have to slow down real fast and then you click your seatbelt on. Your seatbelt is already on for regardless of what happens. I want you to think about turning your paddle like putting on your seatbelt. And what I mean by that is too many players where they go wrong, and I'm exaggerating right here, is the ball's coming and then, oh, I got to get in the proper grip, or oh, I turned my wrist and I'm putting on my seatbelt while I'm driving. I'm going to tilt my paddle down before I even go to the ball, and then I'm going to swing. I'm not tilting my paddle while I'm going to hit a forehand. The moment that I know it's going to be a forehand, my paddle is always already tilted downward, and then I'm going to swing. Does that make sense? So what you're going to do is maybe, well, Tyler, what if my forehand's tilted that way? What if I get a backhand? Well, look, I'm here, ready position. Notice paddle tips up. We're not down here anymore, right? My paddle tips up, and if I have a forehand, I'm going to turn this way and tilt my paddle downward, and we're doing the video on the forehand. But if I have a backhand, I'm going to turn this way and tilt my paddle down and forward. So the moment my brain recognizes that's a forehand, I put my seatbelt on, my paddle's already tilted down, and then I go. Throughout no point of the forehand, I turn or I move my wrist. And that's the next thing. A lot of players think, oh, I need to hit topspin to keep the ball in. So let me do all this junk in my wrist. There is no type of wrist turn whatsoever. Topspin comes from acceleration and getting the back of the ball. I'm going to be here. I'm going to turn, take my paddle back. I'm going to get under it, make sure my paddle's closed. That's going to keep the ball in. The moment I go like this, the ball's going to go long. So a great thing for you to do is not only click to instantly improve my forehand ebook. I did a full forehand ebook. I just released it yesterday. Tips and tricks, tons of video explanations. It's an interactive ebook. It's going to completely change your forehand. Click the link in the description to get it. But also what I want you to do, and we reference this in the ebook, is to make sure that you are watching footage of you hitting. If you feel like you continually are missing your shots long, every single time You have a forehand drive, you're going to hit right here, and every single time it goes long every single time, check. A, is your body in the proper ready position? B, slow your shot down. And C, at contact, is your paddle like this or is your paddle like this? I'm going to go real slow, and this is the perfect example, right? So maybe you guys could rewind and see me, but what I'm gonna look for is I'm gonna look, okay, so here's my right position. You can't see me, but if you have a camera in front of you, and then am I like this at contact? Am I like this or am I like this? If I'm like this, that's why your forehand's going long every single time, and that's why you gotta slow it down to keep the ball in. Now, after we tilt our paddle downward, and after we do that, now we gotta talk about the topspin motion. Again, it's low to high. All I want you to think for topspin is not turn your wrist. We're never turning our wrist. We're going 12 o'clock here, 6 o'clock here. We're swinging from 6 to 12. If you like to think about your wrist, all you're going to do is do a wave. You're going to turn your wave to a side, and you're going to do a sideways wave motion. This is how you hit topspin. This isn't how you hit topspin. This is how. Wave, sideways wave, and then go. That's how we hit topspin. So again, proper ready position. We're turning our body, making sure our body's turned. Our paddle tip is up. We're dropping. We're being loose. We're making sure our paddle face is already closed. We're not even thinking about that because we already buckled our seatbelt. Whatever happens, happens. And we're swinging low to high, and we're brushing the back of the ball. And that's how we're going to keep the ball in. Now, after we brush, now we have to fully follow through. This is a huge reason why a lot of players, they can't hit a good drive. It's because they're afraid to miss. If you want to keep the ball in and your life's on the line for it, what are you going to do? You're going to be afraid of missing. You're afraid to hit long. You're going to start slowing it down and babying the ball to try to hit the ball in. Well, number one, if you play a person that can volley the ball back or do something with their volleys, they're going to kill it. But number two, you're never going to be able to get out of that above that ceiling that you have set with yourself. If you stop at contact and just try to get the ball in, you're not going to allow your paddle to accelerate and rotate. You're not going to be able to create topspin, and you're not going to be able to hit the ball into the court. A lot of players end up missing long because they're so worried about missing their forehand, and what? They stop at contact. It's like you're driving again and you slam the brakes. Boom, right? Your paddle, your momentum's all just slamming the brakes every single time. If you stop at contact, well, that one was in. That was lucky. But if you stop at contact, you're never, ever, 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 ever going to be able to keep the ball in. So if you struggle with stopping at contact, what I want you to think is follow through. In pickleball, to gain control, you have to give up control. The more you let the paddle work for you and the less you work for the paddle, the better you're going to be. Every single time that you hit your forehand, if you want to hit a good forehand in the court, not miss long, you have to let it go, which is kind of counterintuitive. You want to keep the ball in, don't you think you got to try to maneuver it? No, you have to give up control to gain control. What's going to happen is, at first, this is going to be really weird. It's not going to feel good. If you're a control freak, which I am sometimes, and if you hold the paddle really tight and you don't follow through all the time, now if you're actually listening and you're holding the paddle loose and you're letting the paddle go, it's going to feel so bad. And that's why I encourage every single one of you, if you want to improve your forehand and keep the ball in and hit a big ball, you're going to do this in practice. Do not try to do this new forehand in a match to start to learn it. You're going to miss every single time. But what's going to happen is you're going to hold the paddle loose. You're going to give no blanks about your shot. You're going to give no blanks about your shot. And all you're going to do is just go like this and fully let your paddle go. Fully just let your paddle go and swing and see what happens. You might miss some long, but then your one shot's going to go in and you're going to go, oh my gosh, wait, I just hit twice as big of a ball without doing half the amount of work. I really did that. I just let it go. I didn't feel any tension in my elbow, arm, wrist, shoulder, and I just hit a huge ball. It was like effortless. And what's going to happen is it's going to give you your muscle memory. It's going to teach your muscle memory. And once you feel it a couple times, you're never going to go back to that tiny, right? You're going to realize, okay, the more I let it go, the more I follow through, the better it's going to be, and the more consistent and in my shots are going to go. Now, again, that kind of takes mental strategy. It takes mental discipline. Discipline's the word that I was looking for. You have to have discipline to go for your shots in practice and learn this. Again, All you're doing is taking your paddle back and then letting your paddle end up over your shoulder, making sure that you follow through. Now, the big thing is make sure when you follow through, this is going to keep your shot in. You follow through as a result. You don't force it to get there. If you do this, you're going to be mad because you're going to go, Tyler, well, I followed all your tips. I downloaded your ebook. I got your ebook. It's so good, everything like that. I implemented everything, but I was so tight and I forced myself to get over. And it's going out every single time. Well, no duh, because you are holding the paddle tight. I want you to think again, if you hold the paddle tight, it is not going to be right. The follow through happens as a result of the momentum. The follow through doesn't happen because you are forcing your paddle to go there. Now, you can think that A, you can always touch your back with your paddle. So when I swing, I'm going to touch my back. B, you can think, watch, when I swing, elbow. Look, when I swing, elbow. If I point my elbow to my target, that's going to help me be accurate. But also by pointing my elbow to my target, that's going to ensure that I do a full follow through. Again, you don't have to think about following through. You just have to think, tilt your paddle down, elbow. Tilt your paddle down, stay turned, use both hands, elbow. That's going to help you a ton. If you don't like the elbow, and again, some people, different tips work for different people, not one size fits all, you can think about your butt cap. When you swing, you're going to point your butt cap. Again, when you swing, you're going to point your butt cap, or if you like to really come around, maybe you have a little bit more flexibility, you can pretend that you have a watch, super fancy watch on your hitting wrist, and you're going to swing, and you're going to check what time it is. You're going to swing, you're going to check what time it is. So again, just to review, to ensure that we follow through, which will help us keep the ball in, we can either think elbow, we can think butt cap, point the butt cap, or we can think what time it is with our wrist, and that's going to help us keep the ball in. Just for review, we have a couple more things that we're going to get into that a lot of players end up missing along because they don't do this, but just so far, we went over number one, making sure we're in the proper ready position. Number two, making sure we're turned, making sure our paddle tip is up, our paddle tip isn't down, making sure we're loose and dropping the paddle, making sure our paddle is tilted downward. If our paddle's open, that's going to pop the ball up, making sure we let it go, and making sure we fully follow through. Now, the next thing that we have to do, and this is the reason why, again, players end up missing long, they can't keep their shots in, is because they're worried about their shots. You have to be confident in your shots. You have to be confident that your shot can go in, and then also, you have to be confident that you can execute. The same players that are not following through are the same players that are looking at their shots, and this is what I mean. The moment that I hit, and where did my ball go? The moment that I hit, I pick my head up, the ball's going to go up and the ball's going to go out. Too many players end up missing their drives long because they're so concerned that where is their ball going to go. The moment that I pick my head up is the moment my ball's going to go up. If I want to make sure that I'm consistent when I hit, I need to keep my head down throughout my shot. I need to watch the ball hit the center of my paddle. I need to get a Sharpie and draw a dot or like a logo, kind of like they do on the tennis ball. They have like pen 1, pen 2, pen 3. You say read the logo for tennis. They don't have like huge logos on pickleball, so get a Sharpie. And what you're going to do is try to read the logo while you hit. You want to make sure you keep your head down and you fully follow through, and then you pick your head up. Another way that you can think of this is think that you have a paparazzi watching you right now. You guys are watching me. Pretend I'm playing a real match. I'm going to go out. I'm going to hit my drive. I'm going to take my ready position. Here we are. Tilt the paddle down. Here we are. Follow through. Boom. Smile for the camera, and then go back to my next shot. I'm going to hit. I'm going to finish. Smile for the camera, and then I'm going to go back to the next shot. You want to make sure that you feel a brief pause before you go to the next shot. Now, I understand. I get it. I get it. I get it. Pickleball, time is currency. Short court, it's not tennis, Tyler. Yes, I understand. But you have a split millisecond longer than you think you do. A great drill to do if you feel like you struggle with your follow through, if you feel like you struggle with picking your head up or balance, which we're going to go into next, go out and hit some balls and just work on going out, hitting, freezing, and then going back. Again, I'm going to go out, I'm going to hit, freeze, and then I'm going to go back. One more. I'm going to go out, I'm going to hit, freeze, follow through, and then I'm going to go back. By freezing, by feeling a brief pause, that's going to ensure that I A, followed through, B, kept my head down, and C, am balanced. The next thing that you have to do is you have to make sure that you're balanced and you finish your shot. A lot of players, what they do is that they hit and they fall out of their shot. The moment my body and head go up, the body follows. The moment I fall out of my shot is the moment that I'm going to have an inconsistent shot. When you're hitting your forehand drives, if you're going for your forehand drives, you need to make sure that you have this wonderful thing called balanced. Now, again, when I hit, I'm not hitting, a lot of players get out of balance because they're trying to go to the next ball, but I'm not hitting and falling out of my shot. I'm hitting, I'm keeping my body balanced, and then I'm going. Again, I'm hitting, I'm keeping my body balanced, and then I'm going. My body is balanced, I'm pausing for a split second, and the best way to get balance is to drop our center of gravity. If you're going out to the ball and you're having a super narrow stance and you're just going like this and you're not really getting into your legs, it's going to be very easy to fall out of balance. Think, if you came up to me and not a giant push, but like a push like this, and I was standing like this, like a tin soldier, and you came to push me, I'd fall right over. If I'm like this and you try to push me right now, my feet are a little bit wide, I'm getting into my legs, I'm a foot shorter than I typically am, I'm 6 feet, I'm gonna be 5 feet. Now I have a good center of gravity, I have a low center of gravity, I'm not going to move anywhere, even if you try to move me. So try to really get into your legs. Think that you have a glass of water above your head, or we have pickleball poly spots right now. Think that you have a pancake, or get a pancake above your head and work on what? I'm just working on, here we are, let's see if this is gonna work, right? When I hit, I'm gonna go and hit, boom. Ah, my pancake fell off. All right, so I gotta be even more balanced, right? Here we are. I'm gonna hit, here we are, boom, there we are. And I'm keeping my pancake balance. I'm keeping my head still. I pretend that I have a glass of water or a glass of beer on top of my head. Balance is key, and balance is what's going to be able to keep the ball in. If you're struggling with missing long, I want you to go through all of these tips. The next thing that you can do to limit missing the balls long is to slow your swing speed a tiny bit down. And by slowing your swing speed down or slowing the ball down, I don't mean decelerating. I mean getting less of the ball. The more forward and through the ball you hit, the more pop you're going to have, the faster it's going to be, and the more the ball is going to penetrate through the court. The more upward the ball that you hit, the less the ball. Instead of going through the ball, I'm just getting a tiny bit of the ball, I'm brushing up. It's going to look a tiny bit slower, but the ball is going to have more spin. And when I play with spin, I'm going to get the ball in. A lot of players end up missing long and they go fight or flight. They hit long again, long again, long again. They keep on swinging 150 miles per hour. If you're missing long, slow your shot down a tiny bit. Maybe get a little bit less of the ball. Hit 70%, hit 60%. You want to start when you play pickleball, start 50%. If you make it, then go 60%. If you make it, then go to 70%. You don't want to start 100%, go fight or flight, and just keep on trying to hit it 100, 100, 100. If you feel good, shift up, go to 70%, go to 80. If you feel a little bit bad, you start missing long, go to 70 or 60 again. That is the mentality that you need to have while you play pickleball and you hit your drives. If you can do this next time you're on court, and if you can make sure that you keep your head down, keep your body down, hold your paddle loose, let your paddle go, make sure you fully follow through, keep your body turned, stay balanced, keep your head down, finish your shot before you go to the next shot. You're never going to miss long again. And if you do miss long, what are you going to do? You're going to ease off a little bit and you're going to get a feel for it. You're going to have more confidence in your drives, and by having more confidence, you're going to be able to have more consistency, and by having more consistency, you're going to be able to win more points. If you struggle with missing your shots long, you're not going to just have to slow your shot down again. You're going to be able to use these problems and these solutions and these techniques and tips, and you're going to be able to hit every single one of your drives in. And if you don't, you're going to have every single one of the tools to know exactly how to do it. The best way to support this channel is to make sure to share with your pickleball group. We just released a membership subscription, so if you guys want to join and become a member, you get priority access. My team does manage this whole Universal Rackets thing, but I will personally respond to your comments within 24 hours and ask you questions, feedback. We can have a conversation because you're going to have a little sticker. It's only a couple bucks. I would love for you to support the channel. And again, I just released the Instantly Improve My Forehand Third Shot Drive ebook. This ebook, it took me so long and I kind of stopped writing it because there was just so much stuff. And then I got back to it. I finally finished it. I've been living under a rock for the past couple of days because I've been trying to make this ebook as good as possible, regardless of your age, regardless of your playing level. This book is consisted of, I've taught thousands and thousands and thousands of in-person lessons, all ages, all levels. I found out different tips that work for different people. I found the best tips that work for people. I've tried them over and over again, saw what works, saw what didn't work, tested them myself, made all these videos, put it all together in one ebook for you to get better. Basically, if you want to improve your forehand drive and you're spending any time, money, or energy, and you want to have a good forehand drive, you need to check out this ebook. Once again, www.instantlyimproveMyForehand.com, or click the link in the description. You will absolutely love it. If you don't love it, guess what? Just let me know via email after we send you the book and be like, Tyler, I don't like it, and guess what? We'll send you your money back, no questions asked. Have a good one. Happy hitting. I hope you get my ebook, and I cannot wait to see you guys next time on court.